Welcome, I'm Dr. Melina Roberts, and I want to talk about heavy metal toxicity because heavy metals in the body is a major stressor on the body. You know, I talk about the 6 stressors, and heavy metals is one of them. And it's a real problem in our modern world because we can be exposed to these heavy metals through our environment, through the foods that we're eating, the air that we're breathing, the water that we're drinking. So there is a number of ways that we're getting exposed to these heavy metals, and these heavy metals are accumulating in our tissues and affecting normal cellular function. So heavy metal toxicity is an accumulation of heavy metals in our tissues, and it can appear as chronic degenerative diseases. We can see this in Alzheimer's, in Parkinson's disease, in dementia, in cardiovascular disease, in multiple sclerosis, in osteoporosis, and we can also see it appear as more vague symptoms like chronic fatigue, chronic pain, headaches, dizziness. Any of these things can be indications that there may be heavy metals in the system, and we may also see it show up as neurological symptoms such as numbness, burning sensations, paralysis. So these can be different indications that heavy metals may be high in the body. So often people don't think of heavy metal toxicity as the issue. So often these problems will go undiagnosed or misdiagnosed. So here are 6 disruptive effects that heavy metals can have on the body. One is that heavy metals have an affinity for the nervous system. So when heavy metals are in the presence of nerve cells, it actually breaks down nerve cells. And you can see this under a microscope when you put mercury in the presence of a nerve cell. You can actually see it breaking down that cell. And so this can lead to heavy metals when it's in the body. It can be affecting the nervous system. So any sort of neurological dysfunction, from something that's more vague like having numbness or tingling or burning or paralysis, to having something more severe like Alzheimer's, multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's disease, chronic seizures. So all of this can be contributing to heavy metal toxicity. Now, another thing that heavy metals can be affecting the body is the kidneys. Now, heavy metals are detoxified through the kidneys. So anytime that you have a high heavy metal load, it can actually put a high load on the kidneys and lead to the kidneys not functioning at their best, or even some kidney dysfunction. So heavy metals can actually have a toxic effect and a toxic induced dysfunction on the kidneys. So that's another way that heavy metals in the body can really disrupt the function of the body. Another thing that heavy metals in the body can affect is they can cause inflammation, because they actually cause oxidative stress in the body. And that oxidative stress, over time, that inflammation in the body can cause damage to various tissues in the body. So inflammation caused by heavy metals can be very problematic in terms of how the body functions. Another thing that heavy metals can be affecting is the immune system. Now, the immune cells can actually be damaged by the heavy metals, by the presence of heavy metals. And so we can see chronic infections, we can see a decrease in the immune system and more susceptibility to infections and any sort of chronic disorder, which will happen because the immune system is lowered. And that can be an effect of the heavy metal toxicity in the body. Heavy metals are also hormone disruptors. So when heavy metals are in the body, they will disrupt proper function of the hormones in our system. So any sort of hormonal imbalance, from fertility issues to hypothyroidism, this can all be contributed to potential of heavy metal toxicity in the system. So heavy metals in the body can actually disrupt mineral balance in the body. So it actually can displace essential minerals in the body. And when this happens, it can contribute to any sort of issue that would be related to the minerals being out of balance. And one of the major ones would be osteoporosis or osteopenia, because when those minerals are out of balance, it can be because those heavy metals are displacing those minerals. So these are 6 effects that heavy metals can be having on our body. And if you have any sort of issues related to this, it is worth exploring to see if heavy metal toxicity is an issue for you. All right, thank you so much for listening. I encourage you to share this with your friends, to press the like button, to make a comment below. And until next time, continue to learn, grow, and build health.